See, is this recording?
Is it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Are we back? Are we live?
We're live.
Can you hear?
You think?
Did you say something?
Is this thing on?
So what do you think? Should we let people know what we've been doing?
Where have we been?
Yeah. Where have we been?
Turns out, after 6 years, you need it. It's good to have a break.
Well, there was a few interests that we were kind of pursuing on our personal lives, and we wanted to just see how that stuck. I was pursuing the career in tattooing, specializing in architectural tramp stamping.
Nice. Little modular man action at the
Yeah.
base of the back.
Evan, I don't know how much you want to get into, the beet farming experiment you were doing, but
You couldn't have picked a worse vegetable to associate with me.
It seems pretty
Can't
natural.
wait to hear what vegetable he's going to put me in.
Well, Neil, you can go ahead and start letting everybody know. You've been pretty serious about marathoning, and you just want to take it to the next level, and you felt like it was, nude marathoning was the way to go. And so,
come on.
you could,
Sharice is going to pull out that damn picture again. Don't you be talking about that shit.
so we just should let the people know exactly what we've been up to and or down to.
Or maybe not.
Neil's got his swagger back.
Exactly.
Really?
Yep.
So where have we been?
I
What
think
have
that
we
was
been?
it. I'm sticking with that story right there that you just told.
That's because you're associated with beets.
It's safe, yeah. A little safer.
So are you. Well, the opportunity for me to show off my work on you running nude marathons so everybody can see my work run by.
Oh, man. That's great.
Wow.
You say, hey, wait, is that Neil? No, that's one of Cormac's tattoos.
My eyes are up here. That's great. So yeah, we took a break, and I think it was needed. So hey, there you go. That's the reason, and it works out because we're about to start season 7 with a vengeance.
7.
Number 7. Lucky number
7.
That's right. So we've been talking about like changing things up, right? So we'll take the opportunity here to talk about maybe where we're going with this, because we're thinking about having a plan this time. So what we've been talking about doing is we're going to, and we don't need to get too far into the details here, but we are changing the structure of this show and making it a little bit more of a series for the first half of the year, and then maybe we'll see how that goes. But we're kind of planning on a second series for the second half of the year so that we actually get a summer vacation. So there would be some time off from the show during the summer, and then probably some time off from the show at the end of the year as well, so that we can kind of regroup and come up with something for our most beloved listeners to get ready for and anticipate. And I don't know. I don't think we have much more to say about it than that, other than we could talk about what we are going to be basing this first series on. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we can give them a little sneak preview.
A little preview. And so I guess we won't stick to this outline too closely as far as like order, but maybe just throw out some topics and take some turns throwing out some topics.
Yeah, so we've been schematic designing it a little bit. And,
Yep. We're in the SD phase.
Yeah, so it may go the way we think, but, then we may start getting input from every other constraint we have out there, and
From
it
a
may
client.
go sideways. Exactly.
I like
Client,
schemes 4 and
contractor.
8, and I would like you to cram those two together.
Don't even. Yeah. I haven't shared my pains over the course of the last few months, so
There'll be time for that.
Opened one, yeah.
Open the wound.
So one of the things that we wanted to start taking a look at is we're all 20th century architects here, and we'd like to really kind of delve into what defines the architectural career of the 21st century and look at it in a series of different snippets that we feel are what makes the career for the next millennia of architects.
Yeah, different points of view, right?
Yeah.
Different avenues.
Different things that'll affect us as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. And things that we see on the horizon that are really going to affect our profession as we see it in, I'm going to say, golden years of our career.
I don't think there's such a thing in architecture.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. I think he was actually speaking
Oh.
of you.
Golden years.
All right, aluminum years. I mean, I've seen my paycheck.
Who's in their 70s or 80s in this group? That's the golden years of architecture. Unfortunately.
Neil, then you want to take it?
Shut up. Really? No.
No.
Well, I think this gives us an opportunity to explore a number of different things through a series of shows that will make up kind of all tying back to one sort of topic. And we may go all over with this, but I think that's that's the largest goal. I mean, we're going to try and look at, maybe even explore a little bit about what was the architectural career of the 20th century, right? If we're going to understand what the 21st century might be, I think we need to maybe look at what the 20th century was. So I think that's something that might be kind of interesting to talk about. And what's this? What do we see as the upcoming future of even the design process? How does new technology come into play? What that might do to, quote unquote, the digital practice. So there's lots of different avenues that we're outlining here to do a series of episodes in creating this first part of 2019 season here.
Yeah, I think what's kind of interesting about this is that, as usual, you're going to get kind of three different perspectives from three different places of experience within our careers, but also types of practice that we all participate in, and even three different backgrounds, because it is kind of interesting to see how much things have changed since we started, right? And I would only expect that that's going to accelerate.
And even so far as to, talk about the differences geographically on how we do it here on the East Coast and how you guys do it on the West.
We do our technology different. Yeah.
You do.
Here in Cali. Yeah, and I think there might be some future casting in here, right? Like where are things headed potentially, or just some wild ass guesses. But it's always an apt topic to bring up and talk about, especially as students are coming into the profession. It's good to know where it's been and kind of start to influence where it's going. And I think it would be interesting to get some different perspectives out there along the way. So one of the things that we wanted to put out there right in the beginning before we even start, and because we've kind of explained it in such a loose way, is that we would like you, the listener, to chime in and give us ideas about the things that you want to hear about. And our goal is to collect information along the way and then either use it to influence where we take this series or use it as kind of a rapid fire episode at the end to kind of wrap the whole series up, depending on the types of questions or comments that we get along the way. So we wanted everybody to know about the hashtag that we've used previously, but we're going to continue to use it, called Ask Archispeak. So just hashtag Ask Archispeak. You can use social media to do that. You could also use the feedback form on the website if you go to archispeakpodcast.com and click on the feedback button at the top. You can ask your questions there if you would like as well, or provide your comments. And Facebook works, Twitter works. I think any of those would be fine. So if you want to use a hashtag Ask Archispeak, we'll know exactly what you're talking about. If you provide something on the feedback form, you can reference this episode as well. What episode number is this, Neil?
I think it's 160.
160, cool. Yeah, so we would love to hear maybe some ideas about what you're interested in hearing about or getting our perspectives on. Hopefully, in the previous 159 episodes, you've got an idea about who Archispeak is and where we've come from, and you could base it on that kind of understanding the journey that we've all been on for the last 6 years. And I know that we've definitely had episodes that talk about technology, but our goal is to dive a lot deeper and kind of provide some interesting perspectives and still make it fun along the way.
That sounds like I'm going to get a lot of crap then.
That would be fun.
The fun part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that is fun.
Working up a whole new line of things. I can hear it now.
I'm taking notes. We've been taking notes for the last 2 months. So, is that it for this one? I mean, one of our goals is actually to not care how long the episode is, right? So it could be shorter, it could be longer. It just depends. We're going to let the conversation go wherever it goes.
I'm not sure it's not care.
I don't care. I'm up for it. I'm up for whatever. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think maybe it's better explained is that we're more inclined to let the conversation dictate the length of the episode and less about sticking to an hour-long type of format.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes the content might be short and sometimes it might be long. And everybody, there's a pause button on the podcast and you can pick it up where you left off. So
true.
I know we've gotten feedback in the past. Why don't you make it exactly this length? That is the length that I want it. And that's just not the way it works. It's not for us, at least. So I think that explains it pretty well. I know it's a little loose, but we want there to be some surprises in the coming weeks. We're going to stick to the same schedule. And our goal is to, again, take some time off in the summer to recharge. We've talked about how important that is in the life of an architect, and to get some inspiration and recharge the batteries over summer, spend some time with our families, and then kick it off again with a series 2 in the later half of the year. Other than that, you guys have anything else to say about this particular topic?
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. It's good to talk to you guys again.
You left?
Oh yeah, Cormac, Neil and we had some conversations without you. Sorry.
Oh. Okay. Well, I know where I stand.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right.
See you next time. Okay, so how did we do this before? This episode's brought to you by, I don't know. Yeah. This episode of Archispeak is brought to you by ARCAT. The time has come for your firm to begin gathering product and material information for its next project. Let's say you're tasked with finding the top gas fireplace manufacturers, and they need to have CAD, BIM, and specifications.
Wouldn't it be nice if there was a search engine that showed you the data that you need? There is, and it's arcat.com. Search for a product or even a CSI section and get a list of North American manufacturers and the data they offer.
Even better, you can download all the technical data for free. You don't even have to register to use ARCAT. Save your firm time, money, and frustration. Go to arcat.com. That's ARCAT.com.
And thanks to ARCAT for sponsoring this episode of Archispeak. All right, so I wanted to save this for the after show, the new after show that nobody knows about. So if you're still here with us, you've just discovered a new piece of the show. So over the last 3 weeks, I've been working on a secret side project, and it's been really fun, but also it's just like one more thing, right? So I'm a little torn about it because these things are difficult to squeeze into your life. But a few weeks ago, I was approached by some people in the office to do a design. I don't want to call it a competition. It's not really a competition, but it's a design project on the side where Steelcase came in and asked us to participate in a charity fundraiser. And they the only reason I mention the word competition is because they do give away 3 different prize kind of categories in this charity auction and the only one that I know about is best concept. I can't remember what the other 2 are. Anyway, so Steelcase makes this table leg system called Bassline, Bassline. So you can look it up if you want. But basically, it's this table leg system that's like one piece, and it can support 850 pounds. And the idea is that you can put whatever top you want on this thing. So you can make up your own top. You could throw a piece of plywood on there all the way up to, they've got some cool pictures online if you check it out. There's one that's like a manhole lid. There's some gym flooring that somebody turned into a tabletop, whatever. So the idea was to, every team, and they basically approached, for this particular charity auction, they approached a bunch of LA area firms. So our LA office participated in the office that I'm in, the Ontario office. We participated, and then there's other firms downtown that are doing it as well. So ZGF and you name it, they created a table. So tonight is the event. So the event is actually just ended, I think, like at 8:30, and we're recording at 9 o'clock. So it's kind of cool because if you go on to Instagram, it's probably the more active social media outlet for this kind of thing. And if you search for Bassline Table as like the hashtag, or just HMC Architects, I know that we are definitely putting stuff. If you look in our Instagram stories, you can see a little story that they put up tonight. And you'll see the 2 different HMC entries into the event. But what we decided to do was we had this idea of kintsugi. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
No. So kintsugi is it's like a Japanese art of putting, I think for the most part, ceramics back together again. So imagine like a really nice vase falls off the table, right, and it shatters. And so the Japanese, go ahead.
I was going to say, don't they usually mend it with gold?
Yes, exactly. Right. So they don't just try to glue it back together and hide the cracks, right? They put it back together and they use gold. They kind of like chisel or sand away the cracks so that you have to fill it in a little bit wider than the hairline crack that it might be. And then you might even replace a piece that completely like went to powder or something with another found object or a piece of something. And the whole idea is that it gets put back together again, and it's often more beautiful than the original object. So that's one of the reasons they use gold, is to really like make them stand out and provide a contrast. And now this thing has a story, right? And that was definitely inspiring to us because the foundation that they're supporting with this charity auction is PABLOVE. It's PABLOVE, and it's for kids with cancer. So there's a friend of ours in the office whose daughter has childhood leukemia. She was just diagnosed last year. Cormac, you know him. It's Bruce, and he's you know him through Instagram. And his daughter Bodhi was diagnosed with childhood leukemia, and so they've been fighting that for, I don't know, the last 9 months or so. And so it's like one of those things that just kind of came together, you know, the perfect storm of just circumstance and ideas and all this stuff. So our idea, with my special expertise of concrete countertops that I've been through in the last year, was to pour a tabletop out of concrete and then break it and then mend it. And we didn't end up going exactly that route, as we alluded to earlier in the show. You know, things don't always go as planned. And so we were a little nervous about shattering it and it holding back together, especially when it's really heavy, like concrete, and then somebody having to pick up this table and move it, right? So what we ended up doing, and somebody on the team had a brilliant idea of basically building the cracks into the table in the formwork. So a couple guys built the form out of melamine and then brought it into the office, and some of the other team members use silicone to design the crack system, a quote unquote, podcast quotes, crack system, and basically built it up within the form so that when we poured the concrete in, these cracks were kind of naturally formed in there. so that the table was still one piece. So it's kind of more of a practical thing. And it was kind of cool because on the test piece that was done, the concrete just popped right out, and the silicone did not stay in the concrete at all. It stayed on the form perfectly. So it was like, okay, that actually might work. And so we ended up doing the full table. So it's about 28 inches wide, 50 inches long. So it's a big thing. It's like a coffee table. And poured it one day during lunch, went over to one of the colleagues' house, and we mixed like 5 bags of concrete, and oh my gosh, just, poured concrete and mushed it all around with our hands and really worked it into the form. And then we had to wait like a week for it to cure, right? Which is not really long enough, but it was all the time we had. So we kind of forced the issue and pulled it out of the form, and it worked perfectly. So that was pretty sweet. And then we filled the cracks with kind of a mixture of gold powder. So like we're not filling the cracks completely. We're just like kind of dusting them. And then we used gold glass flakes in the deeper pockets that we made, and it looks very geode-like. And then we filled that all with clear epoxy. So it really seals it in there and kind of flattens it back out. And so the final product, and we could put a picture into the show notes just so that everybody can see it. And we have some video and stuff like that as well. But it was sweet because like the clear epoxy dries, use a heat gun, you get all the bubbles out. It's crystal clear. It looks amazing. And then we epoxied the rest of the table, and then I had all of my child slave labor, my 4 kids there one day, and we were all sanding it. And it just, like, when you touch it, it just feels so perfect. I mean, it's like an amazing to the touch kind of a feeling. So anyway, long story, sorry. But the whole, there was a whole story that was written up and a board to support it. These were all kind of requirements of the show, and the table weighed about 200 pounds when we were all done with it. But man, like, whoa. Everybody who saw it was just like so impressed with the idea and the execution. And I was in Phoenix the other day, and I was getting text messages. Man, this table looks amazing. Great job. And we just kind of staged it in our lobby and set up a couple of Eames chairs around it and really made it feel like it was, what it was designed to do is be a coffee table. And so it just turned out super, super nice. And I think what was so rewarding about this process was it was completely separate from the day job, right? Like I'm staring into a computer all day, every day, and doing all the other things that come along with life. And it was really fun to kind of just get away from all that and work with people you don't normally work with and make something out of with your hands, and even get my kids involved and get other teammates involved and make this thing real. And there was no way we could have pulled it off, with even less people. It was just one of those things where it's like, everybody doesn't have time to do this. How are we going to pull it off? So anyway, I just found out, I just was watching Instagram, following the HMC account, and we won the best concept for the show. So
Nice.
Super cool. Yeah,
very cool.
So I'm not sure what the auction kind of brought in or anything. I'm hoping it was fantastic for everybody. The firm could have bought their own table if they wanted to, but starting bids were at $300 and they went up from there. But I'm super proud of that, and proud of our team and just what we were able to pull off, and we that we had this inspiration to go off of and make something actually really meaningful. And so they did it at the Steelcase showroom downtown LA and invited all the firms together. I think they had about 15 firms, put all the tables on display and did this charity auction. I think it was a great cause, super cool to be a part of that. So that's my my after show story. I just thought it would be kind of fun to talk about that and just put it out there, because I would love it if everybody checked out the hashtag baseline table and just see what other tables were shown at the show, because I think the information is slowly creeping out and they're showing all the different tables that showed up that night. But pretty cool experience, and totally different, unexpected. And I think it's just one of those things that when you're doing it, you're like, how did I agree to do this? But then when you actually do it, you're so glad that you did. So it's like one of those opportunities that comes up and you say yes because you want You want to participate in stuff like this, and ultimately it works out, in a really amazing way. Totally unexpected as well.
Sometimes it's just always good. Like you said, we're always staring in the computer. I mean, we're clicking away all day long, doing everything that it is to keep the projects going. But sometimes we sort of start to feel like, at the very least, we lose connection with like the maker inside of us.
Yeah.
And it's always good to kind of like reconnect with that. And if it's doing something like a competition like that, or sitting around and sketching, but, or just doing things that reconnect you or rekindle it. But what is even better with what you were doing is that you're doing it with coworkers that aren't normally working with, but you're collaborating in a very community atmosphere. You're just having fun. You're just doing it because you just want to do it.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of projects that like help totally recharge your batteries when you may not know that you're starting to wear down, but sometimes you wear down. And fun projects like that are really things that are that kind of excite you and kind of keep you going. And plus, it builds a whole new camaraderie within the office. I mean, especially like with your role now as director of the digital practice. I mean, you're out there and you're now having to like deal with everybody within the firm and stuff. And so, to have like fun projects like this, it's not just, Evan's just the digital guy and all that other stuff. No, Evan's the designer guy. Evan's the builder guy. Evan's the do anything for anybody kind of guy. So,
I'm a table mover.
You're a table mover. Anybody moving this weekend? Call Evan.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally appropriate to say all that, because we had 2 graphic designers, 3 people from interiors, and myself. And, there's other people throwing ideas at us. There was a principal who was like, I don't know if you should do this or you should do that. And he had some great ideas. And the diversity of thought that comes out of a group like that is totally different than the normal day-to-day teams that work in the office. And you're gonna get ideas that an architectural team wouldn't come up with.
Right.
You're going to get ideas that the graphics team wouldn't come up with. Everybody's learning something from somebody on this type of a process. And I think that's fantastic. And the only way that happens is to put yourself into those situations. So it's pretty cool.
This will become more tangible and as time goes on, because it's something that's in the infancy stage. But one of the things that's somewhat similar, I do that with my kind of half-hearted air quotes there, is so we have our collaboration day, because we got multiple offices like you guys do, and not all the time are we in contact. I mean, we're more in contact with our DC office than we are with our Arizona office, and so we like to do these things where we get together and do collaborative things within the office. We come together as one big office. Team building, we talk about the state of the firm and all sorts of different things, just to kind of like connect everybody with each other. But we had someone in our office who came up with this great idea, an art show. Because we're a multidisciplinary firm, we try to kind of like stay away from it being just, isolated to art by architects, because, then that sort of makes everybody else say, well, maybe I'm not welcome because I'm interiors, or I'm landscape, or I'm planning, or, I'm administrative staff and stuff. So, I joined a committee of, a handful of people from all of the offices to help put together an art show, that's focused around Collaboration Day, where we're calling it Intersections. And what that means is whatever it means to you as the person, as the designer, the artist, the architect, whatever. Like I said, it's sort of similar-ish, but, it's just one of those things that, as you're talking about, like rekindling this, kind of the fun of like being, the maker and all that other stuff, that's kind of where I'm heading. And like I said, I'll share a little bit more later.
Cool. That'll be exciting to watch.
Yeah. I'm geeked out about it. I'm getting back into doing art and being around artists. And
yeah. It's nice to kind of make those different things fire in your brain, right? That you're not used to firing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, creating a piece of artwork is a hell of a lot different than having to answer RFIs or, develop schedules or additional service proposals and things like that. Although maybe I could do a mixed media art installation with all of those.
You might
Good
end
luck
up
with
hating,
that.
You might end up hating that.
Oh, well, actually, I will stamp. Oh, here you go, because I'm going to get this big, massive stamp, or at least paint, revise and resubmit over the top of all of it.
That's awesome. I have a WTF stamp at my desk, so you can get one of those too.
There you go. Well, that sounds fun. It's awesome. I can't wait to see the photographs. I was actually, as you were talking about, trying to scour HMC and baseline tables, and hadn't quite found your table yet, but
yeah, you'll see it.
Up now.
And I sent a link in. We'll put it in the show notes to a little video that we put together that I think we can. It's public now that the event is over, but we'll put a link to that in there, and you can see kind of how it all came together and see the process, and you can see my child slave laborers standing away on the table to make it perfectly smooth.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can't wait to see it.
Perfect. There's the end.